Alright, Frugal J here. Welcome to my channel. Today I'll be showing you a way to make candles from existing materials around your house. So this is completely free, which is awesome. And you can reuse your old candle wax that probably had no past purpose. So I've just been collecting candle wax from the past in these two jars. So basically, you just want to add the candle wax to one of the jars. Basically whatever jar you want to be the future candle. So I'm just going to put the wax from this container into the other one. Obviously, that's pretty easy. And then you just want to pop that container in the microwave to melt down the wax. Step 2 is to prepare your wick. So we're going to experiment with a different wick type today, see if that works. So I'm going to try using a piece of rosemary as my wick. So this is a piece of rosemary I've been drying out for about 4 weeks. So it's pretty crispy by this point. And it's just a cutting off of my rosemary plant. And I also have another past video about water propagating rosemary, if you want to see that, how to infinitely grow your rosemary plants, and then you can maybe also use them as candles. So to prep the wick here, I'm just going to pluck off the pieces of rosemary so that we're just left with the stem. Depending on the size of your candle is how long you need the wick to be, of course. I wouldn't start with too big of a candle though, because that's just going to be a bit more difficult for you to make. Alright, so what I'm left with is a stick of rosemary here. I saw people sometimes use the wooden wicks. So we're going to try out and see if this rosemary wick here works. And then, so how I'm going to hold that in the candle pot later is, I have this. This is just a little, the thing at the bottom of most candles would be this wick holder. So this is just from a past candle, so I'm going to pop the rosemary in it just to hold onto that. It's actually pretty firm stuck in there, but I also do have some pliers which I'm going to use to try to secure that a bit more and just pinch it in there. So now it is pretty secure. The rosemary's in the candle wick holder. Alright. So step 3, I'm going to microwave the rosemary. Or not the rosemary, but the candle. Just until all the wax melts down. So I'd start just doing it in minute increments. Maybe do a minute and a half first, and then a couple minutes more, or 30 seconds, depending on how melted the wax is thus far. Wait till the wax is fully melted. Okay, so I'm back with the melted wax. Just be careful when you put it in the microwave that you don't fill the container too full, since the wax will expand a bit when you microwave it and heat it up. And also be careful while you're carrying it, since it is very hot wax. I used oven mitts to get it back from the microwave to here. Microwaved it for about 3 minutes. And it is relatively melted. So I'm just grabbing my wick here that we just created. It's the rosemary wick. I'm gonna pop it in the candle slowly. Wait for it to get to the bottom. And now we're gonna want to use something just so that the wick stays centered in our candle. So I've grabbed a couple of sticks just so we can center this wick. After this, the candle is gonna have to sit for a while and set. So it is moving around quite a bit. So we're gonna have one stick to center it there, and I'm gonna pop another one on this side of the wick, just hoping to keep that stabilized in the middle. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it's good enough, and pop that match there. So now we'll wait for it to set, and we'll be back. So it's been about 8 hours here. We've had for the candle to take some time to set. It is recommended you wait about a bit longer than that, maybe 24 hours. I'm just a bit eager to see if this rosemary wick is going to work out. Alright, so you just want to remove whatever supports you had that were holding the wick up. And then the wick, you want to cut it about 1/4 inch down from the candle. So you can see mine is relatively short there. And then lastly, the fun part, we're going to try to light the wick. See how that goes. Well, try with scissors down. So the rosemary has a very, very tiny flame, and it's just gone out. So we're gonna call this a fail and get back at it and try a different wick. So our rosemary wick, although a cool idea, has not gone well. I'm gonna try my second method here. Just popping a match into the candle and letting that sit. Okay, so just lighting the match here. Get it going a bit. Oh, it's still going. I'll let some wax flare up. Hopefully you can see that. So it is still going. Yeah, so you can see when you pop a candle in hot wax, it's still gonna go. It's still gonna light for actually a surprisingly long amount of time. So if you don't want to buy a wick from the store, you pop a match in the candle, hopefully in a non-windy area. This would work out a bit better. And pop that in there and it will actually go for a good amount of time. You can see we actually have a nice flame on that. This is working out quite well. I think in a future video I will try a twine wick, see if that works out. I mean, you could always just buy a cheap cotton wick, but I mean, it's always fun to see what you can do with the stuff you got around the house. So this is the 5-minute update here. You can see we're still going. You can see it's been an amount of time by all of the melted wax here. This wax is melted solely from when I basically dumped this match into the wax. So it's still going, even in a windy area, and it seems to be doing quite well. So the wick did seem to go out. It lasted about 7 minutes here. So if you did like this video, find a cheap way to, try to make a candle, make use of that old wax from your old candles, please do like and subscribe to my channel and this video. All right, thank you.